today I'm going to be doing a book unhaul for you. I've got some fiction first and then we'll move into non-fiction. Fiction. The first book is Nightwood by Juna Barnes. I picked this one up because it had a foreword by T.S. Eliot. I was in a massive T.S. Eliot phase. I must have picked this one up when I was about 18, so we're talking 4 years ago now, and I read the first chapter or so and I just really didn't like it. It's a tiny little book, it's only 150 pages, but it's too literary. It's to the point where it's just presumptuous and silly. I mean, the first 6 pages is just one sentence. It's just not approachable for a reader and I didn't enjoy it. So the next book is Consider Flevius by Ian M. Banks. Sci-fi is really hit and miss for me. Sometimes I'll really like them, sometimes I won't. I think this one's a bit too sort of high sci-fi for me. It's very sort of spaceship oriented and I struggle with the names. It's always been a problem with me with sci-fi and with sort of more cultural books that I really struggle to fit the names to the characters and I lose my place. I read 2 or 3 chapters of this and put it down, and it was one of the books I took with me in the 6 months where I lived at my mum's house between living at my own houses, and if I didn't pick it up then, I really doubt I'm going to pick it up now when I've got lots of choice and there's no point in me holding on to a book I'm not going to like. So the next book is Deception by CJ Redwine. I picked this one up because it was I think £2 in The Works, which is a British sort of discount bookshop. And I would have read it, but it's the second one and I'm not interested in it enough to buy the first one, never mind and carry on a whole series. I thought it was the first and then if I liked it I could have got the next ones, but as it is, to have to pay like, you know, full price for the first one, it's not worth it. Non-fiction. So the first non-fiction book is Fractals, a graphic guide. So I picked this one up in a used bookstore in Bath, I think, when I was there, and I like fractals, I find them interesting, but it's not a headspace I'm in at the minute. I'm not particularly interested in reading about physics at the moment. I may well sort of regain interest in this in the future, but it's just something that's going to sit there and it could sit there for another year, and there's no point in me holding on to it. If I want it, I'll seek it out. So the next book on my list is An Evil Cradling by Brian Keenan. I pulled this from my TBR jar pick this month. I actually pulled it last month too and I put it back because I didn't want to read it. I don't want to read it this time. It's the last book I have on my list for April and I'm just so meh about it. I'm sure it's good and all the reviews seem to be good, but I just don't want to read something that depressing at the moment. If I've tried to read it, if I picked it up twice randomly and I've not even started reading it, I'm not going to. You know, if I've made myself do it and it's still not happening, it's not just going to happen. I'm not just going to pick it up randomly. So the next book is Literary Seductions by Frances Wilson. So this one is about people who fall in love with writing and sort of similarly with the authors that write them. I know there's a bit about Henry Miller and Anison Nin in here. It sounds interesting. Again, it's just not where I am right now. Literary analysis is something that I used to be quite interested in and used to read quite a lot of, especially when I was doing my sort of A-levels, but it's not something I picked up in a long time, and I think this is one I probably will be interested in, but not yet. So I think this is one that's going to go in my loft and I will pick it up maybe in 6 months, and if I still don't want it then I'll unhaul and throw it away, but it's going off my TBR sort of shelf. It's not something I'm going to read anytime soon. And the next book is Happy Kids by Kathy Glass. Kathy Glass writes sort of series of books. They're all based around her experiences with foster care. They're really good, they're really easy to read. I always read them in an afternoon, and this is probably the only one I haven't read, and it's her sort of guide to raising kids. When I picked this up, I was thinking about the possibility of fostering and wanted to learn a little bit more about it. I know at the minute I'm not in a place where I'm looking to have kids, and it's probably not going to be for a while. I suspect if I get to that point, you know, in the future, I'll pick this one up because I do like her writing, I do like the way she parents, but it's not anywhere near to where I am now, and actually if I want it, I'll pick it back up. So the next one is Pure, White and Deadly by John Yudikin. This one's about sugar and how sugar's bad for you, and I kind of know that sugar's bad for you. It's supposed to be like I don't know, like the book that told everyone sugar was bad for you. I try to be more healthy, but I think I need to do that on my own. I don't think that reading this will actually change anything for me. It's just going to sit there, and if I read it I'll go, oh yeah, sugar's bad for you. I didn't know that X had this much sugar in it, but that'll be it. It's not going to change my life. So the next one is one that I'm definitely going to put in the loft because I am interested in reading it and I will read it at some point, but not this year. I don't think. I've not got that drive for it at the moment, and that is Child Psychopathology and the Quest for Control. So it's in a series of books about abnormal psychology in children. I do like reading about abnormal psychology, especially when it involves children. I find it really intriguing to learn how the developing mind copes with personality disorders. I go through binges almost with my psychology books and my sort of I don't know, medical books about mental illness, and I'm not in one now. It's going to go hidden away so that I can pick it up when I want it. And the last one I have is Schema Therapy in Practice. A little bit of background about this one. This is a book based around a specific kind of therapy, schema therapy, which people are sort of experimenting and using with all kinds of different mental illnesses. It's one of the things that I use for BPD, which is what I have, and I picked it up before I had sort of some of the therapies that really helped me, and I thought this might have been an option. Because I'm not looking into it at the minute and it's not something that I'm really thinking about, I'd rather give it to someone else. So there you have it, those are the books I am unhauling for now. I don't think that takes my TBR list down any, because I have sort of, you know, systematically been pulling those books off for the last sort of 4 or 5 months really, and putting them off to one side. So my TBR for 0 by 16 hasn't actually gone down by this unhaul, but I wanted to share those books with you, my reasons behind them. I'm actually happy if anyone wants any of those books, just send them on to you. You know, I don't mind as long as it's not miles and miles away and it's not going to cost me forever in packaging. But if you're particularly interested and you want to, just, you know, leave a comment and we can sort of chat and exchange things. Absolutely happy to do that with you guys. If you have some interest, for example in the schema therapy one, there might be people in the US it's more available to. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope my sort of illness hasn't shown too much. I know it will do because I'm pretty tired and I feel pretty rubbish, but hopefully it was still enjoyable for you all. Alright, thank you, bye bye.